What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got news of the next English set which is coming around for the Digimon TCG. Although, when I say next English set, what I actually mean is next English set we haven't actually heard about yet. It's not the actual next English set. Let me explain. So essentially what we've got here, now at the moment the most recent set which has just come out is BT4 Great Legend. We know that the next set is going to be BT5 Battle of Omni, and we know that the next set after that is going to be BT6 Double Diamond. We don't actually have, unfortunately, a booster pack image for that yet. I am sorry. Now after that we're actually getting EX01. That is to say, the special set using all the retro art, the set that I have been kind of showing you a new card most days at the moment as they have been being revealed over in Japan. And then we're getting BT7. So it's not actually the next set. It's not even really close to being the next set. It is, in fact, 4 sets down the line to when we actually get this. But it is the next set that hasn't been talked about yet. And I know that at this stage, some people are going to turn around and go, well, hang on a second, Wassy. Do we really need to be bothering about 4 sets in the future? A set which isn't going to be coming out for 6 months yet? But firstly, I'm sorry, that's the news. The news out today is that this set is up for pre-order. Distributors are starting to inform people about it. And secondly, this is like wonderful, wonderful news. Because essentially what this is saying is that this game is still going to be going strong in 6 months. And don't sleep on that, right? I was a big fan of the Transformers trading card game. And if you go back on this channel, you will see many videos where I talk about the Transformers trading card game. I was obsessed with it. It was wonderful. Transformers had 5 sets. And set number 5 basically dropped as a frankly pretty limited run, with a note that essentially said, hey, the game's over. And that was it. The game was done. This is going to be set 7, but of course, because of EX01, it's actually set 8. And what we're talking about is 8 sets, 7 full sets and that kind of extra special set. And it's still going to be going strong. And at this stage, you can be a bit sad about how many sets are coming out and how frequently they're coming out and blah, 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 and how it's difficult to catch up with and all things of that nature. And that's fine. That is an absolutely valid opinion to have. But I think the one thing we should all be absolutely delighted about is the fact that this game is still going strong, even though it's been a while. And it's showing no signs of slowing down. Essentially, Digimon seems to have become a staple. And pretty quickly, if I'm honest with you. This doesn't look like a game. Like, to go back to Transformers, I can say I love Transformers. There are probably hundreds of videos on this channel where I talk about how much I love that game. But the fact of the matter is, when Set 5 came out and they cancelled the game, I wasn't surprised. Because the writing had been on the wall for a while. If you were looking for the signs, that game wasn't doing well. This game, and I'm going to do a video about this in a couple of weeks, this game is doing phenomenally. We have no worries, and I know it's very trendy, especially over on the Facebook group, to say blah, 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 and that's why the game isn't going to last. Well, I'm sorry, but as it stands at the moment, this game is absolutely going to last. So we know that it's called Next Adventure. We also know that it is going to be coming out in January 2022. Now, obviously, we are in the tail end of the pandemic. There is absolutely every chance this gets pushed. A bunch of Digimon stuff has been delayed. That is very important to note. But unless it gets delayed, it is scheduled for release in January 2022. We don't have a day, unfortunately, yet. We just have a release month. But as it stands, it does have a placeholder date of January 2022, which I think at this stage is believable. There's no guarantee, but I think at this stage that is a pretty believable date. Now, obviously at this stage, it all starts getting a little bit screwy. So if we have a quick look at the release schedule, we can see how that actually starts kind of lining up with everything else we've seen. So as it stands at the moment, Battle of Omni is scheduled for release on the 6th of August. Double Diamond is scheduled for release on the 8th of October. That is 2 months later. And EX01 The Classic Collection is listed for the 3rd of December, which is 2 months later. Now, a bunch of people have suggested, and I think absolutely rightly so, that BT7 will be dropping in February, because then that would give us a nice kind of 2 months per set. That does not seem to be the case. As it stands, this is dropping a month after the Classic Collection. However, do bear in mind that January could mean the beginning of January, and to be fair, BT5, BT6 and EX01 are all releasing right at the beginning of the month. I mean, the latest one there is the 8th, which is Double Diamond. But it could mean the 30th of January. So there is every possibility here that it is actually going to be near enough 2 months after the release of EX01. We don't know, we'll have to wait and see. But that gives you a little bit of a look at exactly how it's going to break down and how we're actually looking in terms of the release schedule. It is coming pretty thick and fast at this stage, but I suppose that's how it is. Now, the information we've got is that there are 120 different cards. However, it is actually looking like the same as it was before. So it looks like we've basically got 44 common, 30 uncommon, 26 rare, 10 super rare, and 2 secret rare. That is the same information we had coming out of Japan when this set was revealed over there. So it seems like we are matching. Now that's actually 112 cards, but in Japan they were listing it as 112 plus 8 campaign rares. Over here, we are listing it as 120, but that includes the campaign rares, so I wouldn't worry too much. There's 112 cards plus the campaign rares. And we don't know what these campaign rares are as it stands at the moment. Now, we know that the next starter decks, those are SD7 and SD8, the Gallantmon and All Force Digimon decks, they have got campaign rares in them, but those are the memory boosting cards, and they are just an extra 7 cards, which are essentially being popped into those decks. You buy the decks, you get those cards as well, life is good. I don't know exactly what campaign rares means in the context of a full set, and I don't think that's something which has actually been revealed, so anything we say about them would be, to put it bluntly, pure speculation. But there are 8 campaign rares coming as well. And honestly, if we take a little bit of a look at some other sets, this Rarity breakdown is exactly what we would expect. It is exactly what we've seen. So if we take a look at BT6, we've got 44 common, 30 uncommon, 26 rare, 11 super rare, 2 secret rares. So there's actually 1 extra super rare in that set that we didn't get in BT7. But come on, that's pretty much of a muchness. If we go and have a look at BT5, for instance, we have got the same 44, 30, 26, 10, 2. Obviously, we're not going to be looking at EX01. EX01 is completely different, so there's not really much sense actually looking at that and trying to compare, because it's such a different set. It's all over the place in terms of ratios, but it's also very much a special set. Although it must be pointed out that actually that set does include a bunch of playable cards. I was thinking it was very much going to be more of a collector's set, but from everything we've seen so far, it does actually look like there are a bunch of playable cards in that set, which is kind of interesting and kind of fun. So what do we know then? Well, we've got the color scheme. I don't think we've got the artwork. I think saying we got the artwork is entirely disingenuous. But we do have the color scheme. We have a tentative release month of January, subject to change, and we don't have the day. Could be early or late January. Obviously, if it is early January, that is a month after EX01, and that is going to hurt our wallets. Just putting that out there. We know that we've got the usual Rarity breakdown, and I should mention, I didn't say this a moment ago, let me say it now, there are 2 box toppers. And I don't really know what that means. So if we take, for instance, BT4, Then we had the actual box toppers. That is to say, you would get one of those tamers. And then you had the dash packs, which would get you either your Black War Greymon, your Granku Wagamon, or your Metal Garurumon. But then we also had the Great Legend Power Pack, which got you 2 of those promos. So does it mean that there are literally only 2 box toppers, which incidentally would be very, very weird because we've never had less than 6? In terms of actually looking at the number of, different box toppers you can get, it's always been at least 6. Or does that mean we'll get 2 different kinds of box toppers? I don't have the answer to that question for you, unfortunately. All we're told at the moment is box toppers times 2. I'm hoping that it basically means you get the regular box topper and something else. Whether that's a power-up pack, dash pack, whatever, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. A bunch of confirmation, a few new bits of information like release month, box toppers, things of that nature. Unfortunately, not everything we'd like to know, which is a little bit sad, but certainly a bunch more than we knew yesterday. But now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about this. Tell me how excited you are. Go nuts in the comment section, but be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wasi. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.